Wow. David Benavidez, his own promoter, after David Benavidez calls out Demetrius BOOBOO Andrade saying he would love to fight, his manager says that they need more than the Canelo paycheck to fight Demetrius BOOBOO Andrade. More than $7 million to be exact. Stay tuned to this video. We're going to keep it rocking. Hang tight. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Smash the like button. We are here. David Benavidez recently called out Canelo. I reported it, made a video about it. In fact, roll the clip.
Guys, it's David Benavidez. You know, I have my...
This is David.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's David Benavidez. You know, I have my upcoming fight with David Lemieux. You know, I feel like first things first, I got to take care of my business, but I feel like I get past David Lemieux. But the next best fight, you know, for me, I feel like it's BOOBOO Andrade. So I see Andrade's coming up to 168. So let's make it happen, Eddie. Yo, what's up, guys?
So there you have it from David Benavidez himself. He says, I want to fight Charlo. I want to fight the Canelos. If I can't get those fights, David Benavidez says, I want to fight this man that you see on screen, Demetrius BOOBOO Andrade, out of Rhode Island. He said, I heard he's moving up to 168. Let's make it happen. Now, the Boxing Voice, TBV, did an interview with the manager of David Benavidez. And it was pretty shocking that he says to fight a less attractive fight, which is not an easy, it's not going to be, he admits it's not going to be an easy fight. Alexa, stop. He says to fight Demetrius BOOBOO Andrade, which is not an easy fight. He said that's going to require a whole lot of this, a whole lot of money. And I could show you better than I could tell you. So without further ado, I want you guys to hear it. The link will be in the description. Make sure you guys go to the original source and check out the video and give them the watch time and all that. And we just got some excerpt from it.
It can be either way, but the money, you need to be superior, much more than to fight Canelo.
It has to be more than fighting Canelo.
That's correct.
Okay, so there was a rumored offer from Eddie Hearn to Jamal Charlo to face Andrade once upon a time for an unified fight at $7 million. Does that sound right?
So the host Ness is saying that Eddie Hearn publicly in an interview said that they offered Charlo, or were willing to offer Charlo, $7 million to make the Andrade fight on DAZN, right? And, you know, that would be the purse. So the host is asking Samson Lukowicz if that sounds like a suitable amount of money to make the David Benavidez fight.
Time for an unified fight at $7 million. Does that sound right to you?
You need to be much more than that.
Wow. He said it needs to be much more than that. Like, we ain't doing it for no chicken scratch. Wow. He said that's peanuts. He said it got to be much more.
$1 million. Does that sound right to you?
You need to be much more than that.
More than $7 million to fight Andrade?
Yes, because it's not an easy fight. He's a great fighter. That whoever you want to put that fight, that most likely is not so attractive. That one needs to be for the money.
Boom. There you have it. He said that fight, the money gotta really make sense, because fighting Demetrius Andrade, you know, fair play to Samson Lukowicz. He at least admitted that Andrade's a good fighter, something that Canelo Alvarez said the opposite. Canelo said, you're a horrible fighter, when he said, get the F out of here, payday, you won payday and all that. he was saying that Andrade was a terrible fighter. So I at least give credit to Samson, the manager of David Benavidez, for keeping it real on Demetrius BOOBOO Andrade and not slighting him and saying that he sucks or doing what Canelo did and saying he's a horrible fighter. That being said, I mean, this doesn't age well for what David Benavidez just told us, because I did the video and I reported that David Benavidez, he did a video and Eddie Hearn posted it. And keep in mind, Eddie Hearn said this, and I'll highlight it in teal for you guys, right? This is an Eddie Hearn recent comment. Eddie Hearn says on a fight with Demetrius Andrade and David Benavidez, quote, "We'd be willing to go straight into a David Benavidez fight now. If he likes that fight, I am happy to discuss it and would love to get that made." And this is what Eddie Hearn said to IFL, right? So David Benavidez responded to that and saying, yo, I heard BOOBOO's moving up to 68. That's a fight I would like. Let's make it happen. But there's obviously a conflict, because although David Benavidez, he's a beast and it looks like he was down to make the fight, I don't see how the fight's going to get made if your own promotion or your own manager is publicly putting out a number and saying, hey, we were willing to fight a guy like Canelo Alvarez for even less money than that. Like, this is Canelo we're talking about. That just, to me, it seems a bit backwards. Like, how can you expect to get more money for Demetrius Andrade and you're basically saying this is not an attractive fight? And you would be even willing to take the Canelo fight for less money. So I get, in the sense of Canelo he's more certified business. David Benavidez versus Canelo would clearly be a big ticket seller. I can't say the same thing for the Andrade and Benavidez fight for sure. I know it's a good fight. I know it's a good stylistic fight. And David Benavidez and Andrade both said they wanted it. But at the end of the day, this, I don't really know what else to say. This is a roadblock between a manager and the fighter. Fighter saying yay, but the manager is basically saying nay. And, Andrade has long stated that he's been avoided and it's me again, and he's a boogeyman of sorts. And it's hard to disprove things like this when it comes to, because there's a couple black fighters that I've heard, like Devin Haney, right? Like Demetrius Andrade, and they are saying that they are boogeymen of boxing or the boogeymen in their respective division. And it's kind of hard to argue when you see all the politics that go along with that for these said fighters. Devin Haney, he's in his own situation trying to get the George Kambosos fight, but it looks like Kambosos has a different plan, to fight Lomachenko, who lost to a guy that he already just beat, so it's like, really, who wants to see that? For this situation, how is it that you have Demetrius BOOBOO Andrade? People say, oh, he can't punch, he should have stopped Liam Williams, he has no power, and he's moving from 160 to 168. Clever boxer, but people question his power, even though he's an Olympian. He's moving and willing to move from 160 to 168, so move upward 8 pounds to fight David Benavidez, who has been annihilating some of his opposition and has fast hands, blistering speed and combination punching, and a lot of power. He looks like he has a chin, and he looks like a lot to deal with. And you got the guy who's moving up in weight, and I can't take away from David Benavidez because he didn't make this statement, but it's still something your team has to be on the same page with. So there's that. But although David Benavidez said he's down for the fight, your team got to be all on the same page. Either you are or you're not down for the fight. You know what I mean? So to me, that outside looking in, it looks crazy that the guy, you would think that the guy who has the experience at 168, the guy doesn't want to move up and then straight away fight the guy who has the experience in pop and power and cracks at the higher weight class, but it's the opposite. Eddie Hearn saying, Demetrius Andrade, we'd be willing to go straight into that fight straight away for my fighter. So BOOBOO has, people say he hasn't fought anybody and things like that. This is part of the reason why. Because just being realistic, I don't really see how you're gonna make more money in the BOOBOO Andrade fight, especially if you're saying it's not as attractive and it's not gonna sell as much as the Canelo fight. So you're willing to potentially take a pay cut or whatever you gotta do to get in bed and get the Canelo fight. But then for Andrade, you want more money, but then you're also saying he can't sell and it's not an easy fight. So that lets me know that the fight likely won't happen because it's already a way out. You're saying there's no money in the fight and it's a difficult fight and you want more money than a Canelo fight. So, you know, this is why you can't get hyped up in boxing for fights, because even if the fighters want it, behind the scenes, sometimes there's politics. Let me know what you guys feel. Subscribe to the channel and I'm out.
The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.
Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.